happened in the moments before his death. Someone should have checked on him.
A family desperate for answers. Their loved one found dead at the Oregon Zoo after going to a concert there. And tonight, they remember a man who helped so many. This is KOIN 6 News at 10 o'clock. I'm Jeff Gianola.
And I'm Jennifer Hoff. We've learned that 62-year-old Carl Ross Sr. was seeing one of his favorite bands at the zoo on Saturday night, and he never came home. Yesterday, he was found inside an exhibit that's under construction. The cause of his death still under investigation. Cole Miller, live at the zoo tonight, and joins us with more on what his family's saying. Cole?
Well, Jennifer, Jeff, good evening. We're talking about a guy who would do just about anything for anyone. His family coming back here to the zoo both yesterday and today, retracing his steps, hoping to get those answers. But so far, those answers, they have been hard to come by.
I don't have any theories, but I know that something horrible, very, very horrible happened.
Tonight, a family is gripping with what so far seems to be an unexplainable loss. The death of 62-year-old Carl Ross Sr., born and raised in Portland, a man that so many looked up to.
I think there's a whole lot that needs to be answered.
On Saturday at the Oregon Zoo, he was at a concert. His good friend Glenn Miller was there with him.
We did a lot of things together, concerts and events.
When they split up and Miller couldn't find him after the show, he started to worry. He waited and waited, but never ran across him.
This was very out of the ordinary.
Then, some 36 hours later, Carl was found inside the rhino exhibit under construction. No animals were inside.
We were really close friends. Carl was a person that would help anybody. He was one type of person that would give you the shirt off his back.
A deacon at his church, a volunteer, someone who would help those in need, a husband, father, and grandfather. Carl's impact was a big one, and his death is raising plenty of questions. His sister, Perlia Bell, and others went to the zoo hoping for some clarity.
It was like things were being shuffled and covered up and moved around.
When you go to a concert or a venue, you know, at the end of the day, no person should lose their life going to enjoy themselves.
With that smile now a memory, the search for that clarity will continue.
There has to be some accountability because we don't want this to happen to another family.
And late this evening, we did get a statement from the zoo. It says, quote, the Oregon Zoo community is shocked and saddened by this news. We have limited information at this point and are not speculating as to what may have happened, but we are cooperating with Portland police. The zoo can confirm that no animals, staff, or contractors were involved, and there does not appear to have been any foul play. Now the family is asking anyone who may have seen Carl that night, again, that was Saturday night, to come forward. As Jeff, Jennifer, they now begin to plan his funeral. Live at the Oregon Zoo, Cole Miller, KOIN 6 News.
A lot of unanswered questions, Cole. Thank you. We'll continue to follow this story. Look for updates right here on air on KOIN